What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here, and welcome back to another LEGO Marvel Avengers news update. Now, obviously, you know that yesterday I did a video on the handheld edition of LEGO Marvel Avengers where I talked about all the new improvements, the open world, and all that kind of stuff. And today, they've actually released a bunch of new screenshots that we can talk about. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so first up here, of course, you can see a recreation of that incredibly awesome scene from the very first Avengers movie, where, of course, Tony Stark is skydiving down Stark Tower and the Mark 7 pod is chasing after him. He then suits up and then flies away, and it's awesome. It's such an awesome scene. And the fact that you actually get to play through it, I mean, you can see here that he's skydiving down, there's like a ring he probably has to fly through. You know, that is really cool. I really like how interactive the story is for the game. You know, you think when a game like this comes out and you get to play through the movie, you think, I wonder what scenes they won't include, and I wonder what scenes we might actually get to play through. And I really wasn't expecting little things like this, like being able to actually skydive down Stark Tower and then suit up, which is really cool. No word on if you can actually do this in the console version. This is all mainly just handheld news. Some of it might be in both, but for now, all I know is that this features in the handheld version only. Although we did see this scene, I think, in the very first trailer, but again, it was a cutscene, so, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. Next up here, of course, we can see Black Widow getting chased by the Hulk during the S.H.I.E.L.D. Helicarrier attack from the very first Avengers movie. Again, another thing I really didn't think would happen. I thought you'd just, you know, see this in a cutscene, but the fact that you get to play through it is extremely cool. This is, of course, a recreation of the scene from the very first Avengers movie where Tony Stark is in the Mark 6 and he's pushing this damaged fan because he's trying to get it started so the Helicarrier doesn't fall, because if it falls, that's not going to be a good day for the people down below. I really like what I'm seeing from this mission in particular because, you know, one minute you're getting chased by the Hulk as Black Widow, the other you're pushing a fan as Iron Man. I mean, it's a really interactive experience and I'm very excited to see what else it has to offer. During the Battle of New York, after following Captain America's orders, here of course you can see Thor trying to block the Chitauri portal by using the Chrysler building as a supercharged conductor. Again, really loving what I'm seeing here. I mean, the interactivity with the missions is just insane, and especially for handheld, it's extremely impressive. This is, of course, the scene from Avengers Age of Ultron where, after facing off against Ultron, Captain America drops his shield. Black Widow then comes down from the Quinjet on a motorcycle, drives all the way through the streets of Seoul, and then gives them back the shield. It's really great to see, you know, just how much variety these missions have. It really is. I mean, one minute you're playing as Cap and you're fighting against Ultron, probably, and then the next you're actually playing as Black Widow trying to give him his shield back. It's just really cool. And it's a big step up from LEGO Marvel Superheroes because I believe they had just like one or two characters in those missions alone, and they aren't as exciting and varied as these screenshots show for the new game. And of course they had to get this scene into the game. I mean, this is of course one of the most iconic and memorable scenes of the very first Avengers movie. It's the scene where Hulk grabs Loki, smashes him about, and calls him a puny god. Really nice to see that we actually get to play through it, because if you look here, there's actually button prompts. So we press a button to hit Loki and throw him around and everything, which is really nice. And they've also added a stylish disco party, so that's interesting. Now, this screenshot in particular, I think, is extremely cool because it is, of course, the scene from Avengers Age of Ultron where Cap and Scarlet Witch are basically trying to get this train stopped. And so what Quicksilver does is he's basically rescuing all the civilians so they don't get hit by the train because it won't stop. And the fact that you actually get to play through that and rescue the civilians as Quicksilver, that is just really cool. I mean, again, these missions look extremely interactive, and that's just awesome. And last but most certainly not least, here of course we can see the Jarvis wheel, and this obviously confirms that suit-ups are in the handheld edition of LEGO Marvel's Avengers as well, which is just awesome. So here we can see the Mark 1, the Mark 16 Nightclub, the Mark 17 Heartbreaker, the Mark 25 Striker, Mark 33 Silver Centurion, and the Mark 38 Igor, which I have to mention, basically the Hulkbuster is in the game, okay? It is in the handheld version. You'll be able to use it in certain areas, which is great. However, it doesn't have a suit-up. It doesn't have a suit-up animation. You'll just be able to choose it from the grid or however it works. So what they've done instead to make up for that, the Mark 38 Igor does actually have a suit-up on handheld. So consoles, we still get to play with Igor, but we can't suit up into him. You know, we can't suit up into that suit and see a cool animation and everything. But handheld does actually get that. So that's pretty cool. And honestly, I think that's fair. I think if we get the Hulkbuster suit up and they get the Igor suit up, I think that's fair, to be honest. And that's awesome. I mean, I really can't wait to see how that animation looks. And last but not least, we of course have the Mark 40 shotgun on the left, which looks absolutely incredible. I mean, they absolutely nailed it with the design, especially the helmet. I mean, the helmet looks so identical to how it looks in the movie. It's really impressive. And of course, that's not all the suits. There's a second page, as you can see from the bottom, it says 1 through 2. So there's another set of suits that we don't know about yet. Most likely, some of them are from the actual, movies. Like, you probably have Mark 42, Mark 43, Mark 45, that kind of thing, but there's probably more as well, and who knows, maybe Handheld will get some exclusives. We will just have to wait and see. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. I mean, honestly, I'm really impressed by what I'm seeing from the Handheld edition of the game. It really seems like the team who are working on the Handheld edition are really trying to make it as identical as possible to the console version, giving you the suit ups and the super jumps and super speed and the open world and all that kind of stuff, but also putting their own spin on it with some of the new features and, things that cater more towards handheld specifically. So I think that's really cool. Alright guys, so I want to thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for lots more videos real soon, and as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.